Hello and welcome to the final video of this series. In this video I'm going to talk about the copy role functionality, how it is used and how it works inside the Sales Cloud. So if you go to Security Console and if you search some role, for example this one here, you will have the option to copy this role. We'll have here the button copy role. If we click here, the application presents us with two options. Option 1, copy top role. Option 2, copy top role any inherited roles. What do they mean? Well, the first one will create a copy of this role, but only of the role itself, not the roles that he has as inherited. This type of copy is also known as shallow copy. Let me show you how it works. So let's go ahead and click copy role. We are presented with the wizard that will guide us further to finish the copy of sales representative. Now hold on, let's see, maybe I didn't copy the right worker sales representative. Okay, copy role. Okay, so let's give it a name, shallow copy of sales rep. I'll use the same name here. I'll click next. Right, tells me it's going to get these functional policies, then the data securities. If we look in the role hierarchy, here we will notice that no other copy of any other role here will be made. So this is what it means to make a shallow copy. It will only create a copy of the container of the sales representative role, but it will not copy any of these rows. Alright, so these rows will be the same as the rows from the original role, from the original sales representative role. Okay, no extra copy of this role will be made. And if we go to summary and impact, we can see that the summary of what we did while working with these nodes, and we can just go with submit and close. It will tell us a process was submitted. You can view this process right here in the administration tab. If we go to the copy role status, you can see here the copy we are trying to make right now, and this is the process for it. Has the status of processing. You can also refresh here to see when it finishes. I will pause the video here and I'll come back when this is completed, as there's no point for us to wait. And we are back. As you can see, the copy role has completed. And if we can search this in here, we'll find that we have a shallow copy of our sales representative role. Let's open it. Again, this shallow copy will only make a copy of the role of the container, right? Not anything, not any role in here will also get copied. So just the container will be copied. Okay, so this is useful when you maybe want to do some changes to your sales representative out of the box role. You make this shallow copy and you can start removing from here, from this hierarchy node, hierarchy tab, if you will, rows, and that will be that. You'll do some superficial changes to your row or top level changes to your row. Now uh, let's search again our sales representative, and we will talk about the second option that is provided for us when we want to copy a row. And here is where things get interesting. Alright, so this will be uh, called also a deep copy. What does it mean? Well, it means it will not just copy the container, the sales representative container, it will also copy every single row in the hierarchy, right? But there will be some exceptions. You would think with this kind of option you will get a perfect copy of your sales representative, meaning everything copied in a new role. Well, you will be wrong. The idea is the second option will create a very close copy to the original role, but not an exact copy, because there are some exceptions that will not be copied when you do this uh, kind of copy. Okay, so the exceptions are aggregate privileges. Those will not be copied. uh, Roles from the hierarchy that deal with middleware stuff, again, those are not going to be copied into your new role. And also what else will not going to be copied are existing uh, role copies. What does that mean? Well, it means if I do a copy right here of this role, uh, and let's do it so we can see. um, oh, one more thing before we start the copy. If you want to make a very close copy to your original role, make sure you go to the administration tab and make sure you have here some prefix and some suffix for both of these. Because it needs to get a different, like a unique identifier, or something different, to be put as naming. Only then the system will actually copy all the rows from the hierarchy, all or as many as the rows as it can, right? Because I told you there are some exceptions like aggregate privileges or middleware rows or other rows that were already copied. Um, so let's put in here something more suggestive. No, let's say custom. Actually, let's say tutorial here, and let's leave here with custom and custom. Let's save. Now let's go back here on this first tab and search again sales representative. And okay, let's go ahead with the copy role. Select the second option, copy role. You see it added the prefix and the suffix that we put in that option. All right. Now let's go next. Let's see, error can contain only alphanumeric. Okay, so probably doesn't like um, that I put this kind of underscores. Let's remove those. Uh, say job. Okay. Maybe I think now we are good to go. Let's see. Right, so let me do it. Now here it will take the privileges and data securities that are in your original role. Now here on the job, on the role hierarchy, you will see all these roles in the list will also have the prefix and the suffix, meaning they will also get copied. Um, let's see. And there you go. And you can see, as I said, some of these roles will not get copied. There are exceptions. So this emphasizes the first idea that I told you. The second option for deep copy of a role, it will create a very close uh, new role to your original one, but not an exact copy. But we also see that some other roles are going to get copied, like these ones. Right? Again, here are some roles that we want, and that's pretty much it. So we go next, and we go next, and then we submit. And again, you can see your copy process being shown here. This may take some time as we are copying also the hierarchy roles. And we'll take a break here and come back when this is completed. And we are back. As you can see, the process completed, and now we should have a new copy here, a new role. Let's see. Uh, Sorry for the long name. So tutorial sales representative custom. If we open this, we'll find out that it actually did, right? Besides doing the copy of the container of sales representative role itself, it also went into the hierarchy of the role and started copying some of its roles, but some were not copied. As I said, there are exceptions from being copied. Those exceptions are aggregated privileges, um, roles that deal with things from the middleware side, right? Because they are actually roles that are important to have access to different things from the middleware layer. And also another exception is roles that have been already copied. Now, what does it mean, aggregated privileges? Well, for example, this is an aggregated privilege. Um, right, so for example, this privilege here, which provides you access to the work list, this is an aggregated privilege. Basically, there are things that provide an access to multiple things at once, right? They gather in themselves access to different stuff, you know, all together. So those are kind of the aggregated privileges. Um, Now, I said that another exception are the roles that have been already copied. What does it mean? Well, it means that if I now try to copy, for example, sales manager, right? If I try to let's wait for it to open. Okay, so let's say if I now want to try to copy this role with the same second option, if we go here, okay, again I need to change this. Okay, I'll just take it from here and do it like this. Okay. Now, if I go here to the role hierarchy, we will see something very interesting. Um, let's wait for this to open. Right, so in here, you will see that, for example, these roles here, um, let's see, let me see if I can find one that's sales this one, right? So for example, this run, sales lead follow-up duty, right? You see it here as a copy. Well, this is actually not a new copy. It's actually the copy that was done when we did the sales representative copy. So if I go, so remember, sales lead follow-up uh, duty. So if I go and I open that that sales representative custom role that we made, see, let's edit. And if we look for that sales lead, right? So here it is, right? So we already have a copy of this. So the system, when you try to do the sales manager, is not going to create a new one. It will actually take this one that already is in the environment from the previous uh, role copied and map it to the new copy of the sales manager, right? So that's one thing to remember. If you want to actually make another copy of this one for sales manager, you need to go to the last sub tab right here in administration and change here the prefix, the suffix, right? Change those, and then the system will create a new copy. I made it in a slide to be easier to track. Let me bring it up on the screen. So I said copy role is not designed to make exact copies of a role, and I told you why. When you copy the top role and inherited roles, then the inherited role will also be copied with the pattern of the prefix and the suffix you put in that administration area that I showed you. I said not every role in the role hierarchy is copied, and the exclusion is aggregated privileges, and I showed you one of those. These middleware roles, I'm not going to show one of it. It's irrelevant. You probably won't see them in CRM job roles. And I also said that the roles that would be created during uh, copy, so roles that would be created during copy that already exist, right? And an example here that I put here is I copy the sales representative, and the system creates, right, a copy of the container of the original thing here, and then goes into the hierarchy and makes a copy of this role, of this role, of this role, and this role. Now, if I try to copy the sales manager, then the system will create a new copy of the container, right, of the top role. Then it goes into the hierarchy, and it will actually take the existing uh, copy here of sales party management duty and map it to the new role for sales manager, right? So that's one thing to remember. Because if you make, let's say, like I said, a copy of sales representative and a copy of sales manager, and then you, for some reason, you go into this copy of duty and you change something there, that change will be reflected in the copy of the sales representative and in the copy of the sales manager. So that's one thing to remember. If you want to actually make a new copy here of a duty like this one, go in that area of administration and change the suffix and the prefix, and that will give you a new role. Okay, so in conclusion, as I said, the copy role creates a very close copy of the original role, but is not going to create an exact copy. That's one thing to remember, um, and you should be good to go. So I hope all this made sense to you, and I hope this helps you in your security customization. This is the final video of this series, and I want to thank you for watching it. I hope it was useful. I hope it helps you create your own SQL predicates and your own roles. Thank you again for watching, and goodbye.